Okay, this class is going to be on mylabsplus. Once you get into mylabsplus, you're going to come to a screen like this. Of course, you're not going to have 5 or 6 classes for the fall semester, but your class will be Math 120. This is Math 120, right? And click on it, and we're going to talk about the most important things about mylabsplus today. We're going to do this because there's going to be 2 or 3 questions on the test pertaining to mylabsplus, and I want to make sure that you get them right. One question is this guy right here. What do you think the grade book is for? For your grade. There's going to be 3 or 4 of y'all at the end of the semester is going to call me up and say, what's my grade for the semester? Will you get a response? No, you will not. And what's even better is you don't do half your homework, and then on a certain day, like when all the homework is due and all the tests are due and the final exam is due, you notice that your grade drops, and you just don't understand it. 3 students emailed me at the end of the last semester, and they said, my grade dropped about 5 points. I don't understand why. Well, you go back and look. You go back to your grade book and you look. Now it's got your overall score. It's got it should have, homework. You pull up your homework grade. And you pull up the homework grade and you see 5 zeros. Well, that's because you didn't what? You didn't do the homework. You decided to skip that homework. When you skip something in a class, what happens? It turns into a 0. You know, those principles that you learned for 12 years, they don't stop when you get to college. I just don't understand the thinking. I mean, you see your grade drop. I know what it was. Hubert don't like me, and he took points away from me. Yep, that's it. No, chances are you didn't do something. And how do you know? Well, I'll call Hubert up, and I'll bug him during the break and ask him why. No, you go to grade book, and you look right here, and you look under homework. You look under, I don't have any homework. I suck. You look under test, and that's it. That's the only 2 things that the quiz grade, it'll be in there, but that's over the grade, so it doesn't matter. And look, you even have a little gauge over here. If your gauge don't go all the way to the end, then that means you haven't turned in something. Now, if you want an overall grade, it should have overall grade right here, all assignments. And that's when you get your grade. And you can show the calculation here. And that's not right. I got to fix it. Whoever sets these things up, they don't set them up right. So I have to go through and change it to 60, 20, 20. So right now the weights are not correct. So everybody knows what the grade book is for. The grade book tells you the temperature that's to be expected on July 4th, 2017. That's what the grade book does. It doesn't give you your grade. That's a test question. And I think that's one of the answers. It gives you your temperature it gives the predicted temperature for July 4th. That's what it does. They just call it grade book because, it has nothing to do with your grade. The second most important piece is homework. I love this. I love the emails that I get. I can't find your homework on Blackboard. Do they get a response? Nope. How many times did I say I don't use Blackboard the other day? 4 or 5 times. I think I said it 5 times all in a row. Remember, I said I don't use Blackboard. I don't use Blackboard. There's your homework. Okay. I don't think I have it loaded yet. So, and of course the hammies just probably spazzed out because they couldn't see it. But we hadn't covered anything yet. Quizzes and tests. What do you think's on the quizzes and tests? Quizzes and tests. I can't find the test. These are not made up. These are actual emails that I have gotten. Okay? And there's these tests right here. Make a note. These tests are generic. These are not my tests. Do they count for anything? No. Do they hurt you? No. They're just for you to learn how to type in answers on the test. That's all they're for. They're more for if you were in an independent study situation like a lab and you were working on your own. That's what they're for. So if you wanted to see if you were okay with Unit 2 material, then you would take the test and then you would check, and if you made A on it, then you would ask the teacher to take the real test. That's kind of like what these are for. Anything that has my name on it, or Unit 1 test, or Unit 2 test, Unit 3 test, Unit 4 test, or my name, that's the test that you need to take. And they will be usually, I don't know with this new format they've got, probably be up in here. All right. Study plan, that's basically extra homework problems. I tell students if you want to do that, that's fine. How do you get to the book online? Well, here's the book online right here. Well, let me go back. Make sure you understand where I clicked. Chapter contents. And I think chapter 1, I'm not going to go to chapter 1. I'm going to go to chapter 3 because that's where they actually have some problems. And click on multimedia e-text. That's another word for the book online. Click on that, and what shows up, if you have a book that you haven't opened yet, open it up, and if you turn to page, whenever this thing decides to pull it up, if you turn to page 163, it's going to look like this. And to print it out, you just hit the print button. It hides from me sometimes up here, print. And it'll print out up to 10 pages at a time. Or you have to print them out one at a time. I don't know if it prints, print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually the unit, like 3.5 where you read and do all the reading, and then you have 2 or 3 pages of homework, that's within 10 pages. Or they'll fix it to where like it's 14 pages or whatever, it'll be 14 pages. You print those out one by one, and then you bring it to class, put holes in it, put it in your notebook, bring it to class. That's why you don't need a book, because it's online. Okay? So, again, for those of you that need to print it out, you go to chapter contents, you find the chapter and the section you want to print, and then you go up to the print button and you print it out. Capiche? And that's what it looks like. Now, go back. And if you want to do extra problems, that's the study plan. Now, I pull a lot of problems in class from the study plan because they screw up the homework, whoever makes these things up. Let me explain how that works. Each teacher at Tri-County, each full-time instructor is in charge of 2 or 3 classes. And when those classes are put in mylabsplus, those instructors are responsible for setting up mylabsplus for those 2 classes. I don't know who set these up, don't care, but sometimes they set them up and they don't set them up like other teachers want them. So, I'm responsible for college algebra and college trig. So if I complain about those, I'm complaining to myself. So that's why the weights are off, and that's why the homework is not exactly like I like it. So I have to supplement by doing the problems in the study plan in class, and that way you can pretty much handle the homework because the ones I pick are much more difficult than the ones they pick. Okay? So sometimes I go with the homework, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I just pick them from the study plan. But the reason I'm going to the study plan today is to show you how it works. And this is very important because I rely on this for the office hours part of my student teacher relationship. In other words, if you don't send me questions, I pretty much assume that you know the material. I got 30 students in here. If I get 2 questions on 3.5 and that's all I get before the next class, then that tells me that everybody else is either not doing the homework or what? They understand it. So I use the Ask My Instructor feature as a gauge how fast to go with the material. That's why also you don't need office hours with me, because I do my office hours in where? In class. Because of those 11 or 12 days that I have not doing all the paperwork. So, this each one of these has got little helpful tools, different learning styles. I'll click on this one. And if you notice, this 5-number summary, go to question help. And there's your different learning style helps. Now, let me explain to you that's a microphone. Can y'all hear me okay? I guess you can. I just want to play with it. Anyway, now I can't shut the blame thing off. There we go. It's yeah, this thing will fit around my neck. I don't think it will. I don't want to fit around my head. So I guess I'll just leave it where it's at. Squirrel. Anyway, Help Me Solve This is a guided tutorial. Now, there's 2 types of tutors in the tutoring lab. There's the tutor that goes, okay, here's the question. How many numbers do we have? And you say 5 or however many numbers. What do we do with these numbers? In other words, every other sentence out of that tutor's mouth is a what? It's a question. That's called a guided tutorial. It's also called guided lecture. It would be like, and that's the way I teach. I don't ask the question every other sentence, but while I'm going through a problem, I will ask you questions to cue you to think about what part of the problem and how to bring out that information. Okay, that's called a guided lecture, guided tutorial. That's a different learning style. Some people like that. And all these little do-jiggers over here are based on learning styles. You go to this one, it's going to ask you a question, and then it's going to say continue. And somewhere it's going to ask you a question, somewhere. There we go. Smallest data number is blah, blah, blah. And then you answer the question. Doesn't hurt you. It doesn't help you if you get it wrong or right. It doesn't, well, you're trying to learn how to do the problem. Now, let me go ahead and say right now, the reason for all these help questions, the reason for all this assistance is not because I don't want to teach. That's not what it's for. All your homework is online. So pretty much, where are you going to be doing all your homework? At home. You ever been doing 20 problems and you get to number 10 and you don't know how to do number 10 and you can't do the other 10? Okay, that's what these things are for. These things are designed to try to get you over the hump when you're doing homework. They're not there to take place of the teacher. All right? I'm going to go ahead and get that straight right now, because some people, what is he going to do? Well, I just told you. My job in here is to teach. That's what my job is. And thank God I work at a place where I get paid to do what I'm supposed to do. Not babysit, not do paperwork, not do all that other stuff. So I'm very thankful that I teach, and that's what I do. That's why I'm also open enough to where I can put my office hours in here by using the Ask My Instructor button. But this is for guided, and this is for the student that likes to be asked a question while they're being explained. Some of you kind of like, you say, I like to know what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Okay? That's the guided tutorial. And that's when you get Help Me Solve This. Well, let's say you don't like that. Say the questions piss you off. All right? Then you do View an Example. View an Example is what you call just a tutorial. That's the tutor that goes, okay, you got 2x plus 3 plus 7 is equal to 7. You got to take away the 3 on both sides, and that gives you 2x is equal to 4. You divide by 2, and that's x is equal to 2. You ever had a tutor like that? Or a teacher to just go through and not ask you anything? Well, that's what this is. Just go through and show me how to do it. I don't want you to ask me no questions. I just want you to show me how to do it. A different learning style. And again, it shows you how to find everything you need. So there's no problem with that. You got a guided tutorial and then a tutorial. Video. This is for you visual learners. Just do it. There. And that's the
steps that need to be followed to draw a box plot. First, we have to determine the lower and upper.
That's for you visual learners.
The lower fence is 2 sub 1 minus.
I'm not going to show you the whole thing because this is chapter 3 and we got to do chapter 1 and 2 first. And dango Espanol, dango captions, dango closed caption, dango Espanol. All right? Make sure we include everybody. Don't want to offend nobody. Oh gosh, how that? Where is it? Dadgummit. All right. So let's say you doing the homework problem and you don't like visuals. You don't like that. Let's say you're a reader. Some of the people that read like 10 books a day or whatever. Well, it'll take you to the section in the book and it'll show you where it is in the book, and then you can go back and print it out. So you can go through the book just through chapter contents, or you can go to the book with the homework, however you want to do it. And that's for you people that like to read a lot. Now here's the one. Now these are just assistance with a spreadsheet. It's called StatCrunch. I'm going to show you how to use Excel. No, I'm going to use Excel. I'm not going to show you how to use it because some of y'all are just, not y'all in here, but the students in general. I don't try to teach you how to use Excel because that's just, some of y'all, it's just over your head. And what's that? How do you spell that? No. And Tech Help shows you how to use your calculator. So those two things are kind of like assistants. StatCrunch is like a glorified Excel spreadsheet. You just go in there and you actually use it, and it'll put the problems in there. It'll put the data in there from a problem. It should have one in there. Well, it's supposed to have data already in there, but I don't know where it is. Sample. Yeah, it tells you how to do it, but I don't fool with it very much. Usually what it does is it already has the numbers in there. I don't know why it doesn't this time. And all you do is hit data or stat and summary and column and calculate, and it spits out the mean, median, mode, 5-number summary, all that stuff. Just like your calculator. Now, the one that I want to show you is right here. Well, let me show you this one first, print. If you want to print your homework and do it by paper and pencil like conventional students do, then you print out your homework right here. So go to number 1 on each of your homeworks, and this is getting on my nerves. And there's number 1 or whatever. Well, I thought I hit print. Did I not hit print? Yeah. And it's supposed to be set to print out the whole assignment, but it's not, so I'll have to fix that too. Good gracious. Anyway, I'll fix that. There'll be a little window that comes up that says print this problem or print whole assignment, and I'll have to go in and change that too. So right now it's set to print the assignment. I don't know why anybody would want to print one problem. They didn't set it. And then the most important question is this one right here. Ask my instructor. Now, how that works is, and some of y'all already know it because you've already used it, but some of y'all are right out of high school and you never seen mylabsplus. This is the important button right here. This is the one that if all of these haven't worked and you still don't have a clue how to do the problem, if you're from the South, you mash that button. If you're not from the South, you click on it, okay? One of the two. And it'll send, and you put a message. You don't have to put a message because I know that takes a little bit of work, okay? So, but if you want to put, if you were, I can't freaking type, if you were a good teacher, I wouldn't have questions. You suck. Now, the reason I'm writing that is so you'll see that it's a real time. So I'm going to send this and go pull up the next day before class. I pull up my one day. More than 5 people, more than 5 teachers at Tri-County Tech will use technology, and when they reach that goal of 5 people, right now there's only one, and I think it's me. When they reach 5 people, the logout screen will be extended. But until that day when we have 5 teachers that's not writing on a chalkboard, I'm dealing with this. So they log out like every 5 seconds. There it is. And the reason I know it just sent is because there's the message. So I didn't like send it like 2 or 3 hours ago. All right. And I will take that and I'll put it in a file over here. And then beginning the class or every 2 or 3 classes or whatever, I will answer all those questions. Now in here, nobody's ever had me before, right? Well, I can't call on anybody to verify that. But that's what I do every 2 or 3 questions, every 2 or 3 days, or every day, depending on how important like chapters 1 and 2. I'm gonna wait a few days before it accumulates a lot of questions because chapters 1 and 2 is all reading, okay, and a lot of vocabulary and stuff like that. So your assignment right now is for the next week. For this week, read chapters 1 and 2. Tomorrow, meaning Wednesday, I will cover chapters 1 and 2 in class. I'll go through the book, I'll pull the book up, and I'll tell you what to highlight, and I'll tell you what to write in your notes. And if I tell you to highlight it, and I tell you to write it in your notes, then that means that you are what? You're responsible for it being on the test. And I can't get any simpler than that. No yawning in class. Okay? That's a joke. We had a teacher one time that if you yawn more than 3 times, she asked you to leave. That's no joke. She did. She got fired. Well, she just didn't come back no more. She was adjunct. How do you throw people out for yawning? I kid around and say no. I say no coughing, no sneezing, and no yawning. So all you can do in here is breathe. But anyway, don't yawn or you might get thrown out of class. All right. Do you have any questions about the homework? Do you have any questions about the buttons or anything like that? Anybody got any questions so far? No questions. I covered it so well that you don't have any questions whatsoever. There's 3. It's probably not set on here because whoever set this one up didn't do a good job. But I usually give y'all infinite amounts of tries to answer the question. That way you'll get it until you get it right. And if you get it wrong, I think I give you 3 tries. Yeah, that's it. 3 tries. And if you get it wrong, you hit similar question. And you can redo the question and you get the answer right. If you get it right, then it let me just show you. It's a whole lot easier just to show you. First, I have to make one of the homeworks. I got to do that first. I got to make a test available too. So let me go to main menu, course tools, assignment. I have no idea. Let's say 3.2. Assign 3.2. Class. What's today? Today the 22nd? That's not right. That's August. 22nd. Wait a minute. Ah, thank you. There we go. Maybe it goes. Maybe it's a time machine. Maybe we can go back in time. All right, there's the 22nd, and we'll set this for 8 o'clock a.m. and I'll shut it down at 9:25 because somebody will go home. We'll have a hammy in here. Go home. Oh my God, the homework! Y'all think I'm kidding? There'll be somebody in here going, "When's the homework due? When's the homework due?" Where in the hell is August? All right, 9:35. We'll just say 9:25. Dang, August left. Let me fix this. Limit. See, they didn't even fill this stuff out. 3 times, and should be able to print somewhere. Allow students to print this homework assignment. Well, why? Oh, I didn't pull this one up. I pulled another section up. Okay, save and assign for save. Make sure it's assigned. What section was that? 3 point what? 3.2? We done assigned it. Okay, there's that. And let me go ahead and do a test while I'm at it. So I can make the hammies really upset. Oh my God, there's a test loaded. I'm trying to find my test. Where's the test? Let me go back. It's one of those days where nothing's working right. I might as well just quit. Oh, there it is. I pushed the wrong. Operator error again. It's usually operator error all the time. I'll just pull one from 8 o'clock class last semester. Alright, so here's your homework. And make sure that's assigned too. It is. So we go to main menu, we pull up the homework, and there's your homework for 3.2. And you just click on the problem. And you pick A. I have no idea what, and it's wrong. And you say, no it ain't. Wouldn't you love to be able to write the messages on these things right here where it says sorry, that's not correct. You suck. Quit school. I'd be fired the first month. Probably the first week. you're going to live in a box in a ditch. All right, if you notice, it says next question or similar question. I got that wrong, so I hit similar question. And I picked D this time. And right now I've got an X on that problem. You hit D, and that's wrong. B, and that's wrong. I guess I'm going to have to read the question. Let me go back. Thought I'd be lucky and get it right. So, similar question. Okay, your instructor has limited time. Okay, I didn't do that. That's somebody else's. Oh, this is my last attempt. Which histogram depicts a higher standard deviation? Well, a higher standard deviation would be they're spread out more. Okay, so let's see. This is 48 to 52, that's 4. And this is 40 to 50, that's 10. So which one has a higher standard deviation? It's B. So you got to look. Histogram B depicts higher because the distributed has more dispersion since it's more of a bell curve. That's not it. It'd be this one, see, because it's spread out. And you hit check. Good job. And watch your X up here. It'll disappear. Did you see it? It disappeared. So now you go back. So what should everybody make on the homework? Will they? 57s, 23s. Yep. And those are the ones that ask me, what happened to my grade? Because after the final exam and after the homework terminates, I put in zeros. DA. Okay, so that's how the homework works. All right, let's look at the test. Go to test. Hubert's Unit 1 test. That's different from these. See, it's above the line here. You click on it. Now, something else. I'm going to show y'all something. This is amazing. mylabsplus puts the date and the time that it's due. Wow. So that means that if I want to know when something is due, what should I do? Email Hubert, right? No, you check mylabsplus. Y'all, I don't want y'all to think I'm making this stuff up. I'm not. Okay, I have some students that can't find their way out of a wet paper sack, all right, or a wet paper bag, wherever you're from. They cannot do anything unless the instructor or the teacher does what? Tells them. It's like they're programmed. They have to have somebody tell them what to do. And it's just ridiculous. You're in college now. You don't have to come to class if you don't want to. I mean, it's not like, prison. It's not like high school was, okay? You have to go to class every day. Well, you do here, but there's 3 ways out of that. 2 couple of ways out of that. I done told you that. But anyway, you click on that. There's the date. There's the time. And even if you click on it, why does it ask you this question? Because there's some people that will try to take an online test during a thunderstorm or a lightning storm. Why should you not try that? That's not rhetorical. I'm asking for interaction here. Because the power will go out, and then, oh my God, 3 emails to Hubert. People don't take a test when this freaking blue lightning bolt's coming out of the sky. Simple as that. I'm sorry I have to look over y'all. Y'all gonna have to move because I can't see y'all. All right. I'm kidding. So it asks you, if you got 15 kids running around, half of them got clothes on, half of them don't. One's got spaghetti all over his face. Don't take the test. You take it when everybody's in bed. You take it when you have time to yourself. You take it when there's no thunderstorm. And you don't wait until there's 30 minutes before the deadline. Because Whatever you do on here, I can see. I can pull up your name. I can tell you when you started the test. I can tell you how many problems you did before it cut off. So if you started the test, all my stuff shuts off at midnight, 11:59 p.m. The reason I do that, if I put 12 a.m., some people would think that's noon the next day or something. So I don't do that. I put 11:59 p.m. So that way y'all can say, oh, that's after the news, which means dark outside. Yeah, that's right. But the reason I do that is because all my classes that has mylabsplus, they know that if you have Hubert, it cuts off at 12 o'clock. If I go in there and you say, I just couldn't get it done, the power shut off and all this, I'm going to go in there and look. And if I see that you started it at 11:30 on the night that it ended, I'm not going to help you at all. Because you waited what? You waited too late. I always tell students to take the first test 24 hours before the deadline. Because the first test 24 hours, you still got 24 hours to take the other 2 attempts. And if something happens, it's not going to happen 24 hours. It's going to happen 30 minutes before the deadline. That's called Murphy's Law. What's Murphy's Law? Golly, I'm faint. I feel faint. Somebody actually knows what that means. Golly, where'd you learn that? School? Okay, well, that's usually where it comes from. Somebody that has experience. Whatever can go wrong, will go wrong. Some of y'all are like, what does that mean? No, just forget it. Just go back to sucking your thumb. All right. In mylabsplus, this is one of your questions. Golly, I'm showing you the test questions. In mylabsplus, upon completion of all assignments, the grade book will give me water lily, contempt, my final grade, coconut. Now, a lot of you are saying, why is he doing this? Well, it's a little bit of sarcasm and a little bit of, I'm trying to help you out, okay? The sarcasm is, some DA is going to miss this problem. And the other 90% of the class will get it right. My final grade. But these are all about me, so I'm stuck on myself. Next question. Classify, blah, 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 the native languages of students. Let's say this is quantitative. No, the native languages of students in English, that would be qualitative. No, quantitative. Qualitative, quantitative is numbers. Yeah, quantity. When is the last day of classes for this semester? Judgment Day. This is no joke. I actually had somebody, okay, it's spelled wrong. This is an old test. I actually had somebody tell me I'm offended. Why are you offended? No, they were offended because I used September the 11th. That's what they offended. One woman was offended because I used the Bible. I was making fun of the Bible. I said, ma'am, I said, you need to read your Bible. I said, it's not Judgment Day. That comes from dadgum Terminator. You're talking about dang old Revelation. All right, anyway, they said, I'm offended because I had a personal friend who died in September 11th. I said, well, I had a personal friend who died December 7th, 1941. What was that? No, that's what she asked me. So you're going to complain about 2011, but you don't know anything about December 7th, 1941. Go away. If you're gonna be offended about September 11th, then you need to be offended by December 7th, because it's on another question. You need to be offended by both of them. Anyway, Judgment Day, that's dang old Terminator and it's spelled wrong. I did that on purpose so nobody would say I'm offended. Anyway, which branch? Marines, do not get this one wrong, okay? Do not say Army, please. All right. Determine whether the qualitative or the quantitative. Does Hubert replace your lowest grade with your final exam? No way, no how. You notice a pattern about these questions? Anybody notice a pattern about the answers? What? There's no way to get them what? Yes, there is. That's the same person. This is a 5 number sum. We're not going to do that. I'm showing you what I'm showing you what the test looks like. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points, dropping any grades during the final weeks of the class? Why? Because he wants me to fail and live in a ditch. That's the right answer. Now, what's the answer? He drops the lowest grade on each unit test. B. So actually, how many tests do we have? We have 4 tests. I dropped 8 grades. So I don't think you should ask me for extra credit when I drop 8 of your lowest grades. Find the population mean, blah, blah, blah. How is homework? This is the one that's most missed. This is the one that's most missed. I shouldn't have put 2 sets of numbers on there. Yeah, that's it. 30, 30, 30. What's wrong with 30, 30, 30? Not equal to 100, DA. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? What? B. He takes the highest grade. He gives you a drop slip. He calls you a loser and fails you. And that's math question. Math question. It's about half and half. Math question. In mylabsplus, what does gradebook do? Snow White measures my IQ, predicts the temperature on July 4th, 2015. It's already passed. Keeps up records of my grades. And you, this is no joke. I give 4 unit tests. There's 2 questions about gradebook on each of those tests. How many questions is that? 8. Thank you, one person. 8 questions. 8 questions. What did I tell y'all about texting in class? Okay, that's your first warning shot. Next time, get your butt up and go outside. I'm not going to put up with rudeness in my class. Well, the second time, I'm going to embarrass you. All right. What does gradebook do? Oh, this is 8 questions. I give 8 questions. And I have a student come up to me at the end of the semester and says, how do we know what our grade is? Because it was the last day of class. And they said, how do we know what we made in the class? I said, I have no earthly idea. How do you answer 8 questions and then come up to the teacher and ask that question? Where is all of Hubert's homework and tests done? In the kitchen. And math question. When is the week of finals? That'll be on there too. There's December 7th, 1941. I'm offended. I have to go to the bathroom. Even if I don't have the right dates on there, you should still be able to get it right. And which one is my email address? And phone number. How about C? The only one that could be. And that's and I bet we got all of those right. So even if you have no clue what's going on in the class, you can still make a 45 on the test. Do I have people that make less than 45 on my test? 23s. Somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain to me how I give you 50 points on the test and somebody makes below a 50. All right. Now, if you ever want to print out the test, now that I've taken a test, I go to my grade book. And when I go to grade book, wow, there's a grade. And look, I can go here and I can click on it. And there should be, what the heck? Let's try that again. No, I don't want to take the test. I want to go to grade book. I'm sorry, I thought I was still on grade book. Click on that. There. And you should be able to print out the test. Well, I might have to reset that too, because I don't see it on here anywhere. Print, there it is. And you can print out, there it is. That's what's supposed to come up on your homework. Print the whole test with questions, and I don't know why you'd want to print out one question. So you print out no coughing in class. Need to lay off them Marlboro Reds. Print test with the correct answers and your answers, and print. Now, the reason you need to print out all the tests when you print out the test, the highest grade that you made, is because my final exam that's online comes from all my tests. So that's how you study for. Basically, you're not really studying, you're reviewing, because you've already had the questions. All you got to do is just remember them. Okay? So now you know how the test works, now you know how the homework works, and now you know how this works. Now again, there's a lot of things over here that you don't need. The only thing that you need to be concerned with is homework, tests, grade book, and chapter contents. That's pretty much it. All right, who has a question so far? Anybody have a question on the homework or the test or anything like that? Okay. Now let's see how many losers we got in the room. Grade book. There's 30 people in the class. Well, 18. That's pretty good. There's only 12 losers in the class that couldn't register. Gave you the whole weekend to register, and 12 of you didn't register. I'm already starting to see some people making less than 50s on the test. Give y'all something simple to do. Now, I realize there's 3 or 4 of y'all that couldn't get on. I'm not talking about you. I didn't get 12 emails this weekend. I only got 3 or 4. So that means there's 9 or 10 of y'all that didn't even register. And all you had to do was go on and register. You didn't have to pay for anything. You didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was go and register. And you were too lazy to do that. Is that correct? There's 3 or 4 that's, I'm not talking, 3 or 4 that had troubles. They emailed me. I'm not talking about them. Nobody's going to say anything? I had too much to do, right? All right. The weeks are going to travel on, and we're going to have a test, and you're going to come up here, and you're going to say, I need to register, and I'm going to look at you like you're a dadgum what? DA. Because you, 1, you didn't follow simple directions. 2, you've had 3 weeks to register. And when do you decide to register? The day before the test. So I'm going to get my stuff and I'm going to go on my break or whatever. I'm not going to worry about you. Okay? So these people, Bolt, Davis, Edwards, Finley, Garcia, Goodson, Hamilton, Hovey, Jenkins, Lindsay, Martin, Painter, Simmons, Stafford, Stone, Tarbert, Vickery, and White. You did what you were supposed to. Now, there may be 2 or 3 people in here that wasn't here Friday or whatever day y'all were here last Wednesday. If you wasn't here Wednesday, you're excused, and if you had trouble, you're excused. So that may be 6 people out of 12. So there's still 6 losers in here that didn't do a simple assignment over the weekend. That's all I'm going to say. And you can't understand why you can't pass a math class. Starting to see. All right. No questions on mylabsplus. Everybody's got it squared away. Especially the 18 that did what they were supposed to. Okay. Now, let's look at the syllabus again. Well, I don't know about the syllabus, but I need to pull up one more thing for y'all on the homework. I mean, not the homework, the email. Probably done logged me out again. And I'm going to go to handouts. And we'll try to find y'all a just give me a minute. There's the outline. Now see, now, while I'm looking on here, that's when you can check your phones to make sure you haven't got a text. And that's not rude. Don't do it while I'm talking. That's just rude. Rude. I still can't do it like she does. Okay, let me go to freaking... Is Blackboard up? I doubt it. Let me see if it's up. Session expired. This is so ridiculous. I'll be around Tri-County Tech in the hallways with my wheelchair. When some of these teachers get up to snuff. Let's see, I need to go. Where is it? Is it? There it is. I think it's the same. Is it the same? I guess it is. Probably blow up. Yeah, you'll see how much I use it. Nothing on mine. Let's see. All right, I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to let y'all look at it. But I don't need y'all to be taking it for, because it's not mine, it's somebody else's. I got to go through and delete all that stuff. Go away. Really? My gosh. There. All right. Just ignore all that stuff. That's what some of these teachers, they rewrite the syllabus, and I don't understand why they rewrite it. All they got to do is put this on here. Okay, now you can put your phones up. All right. So here's the first section right here, chapters 1, 2, and 3. And right now you need to be reading chapters 1 and 2. Now I will go ahead and put up the Unit 1 homework probably after I let y'all go today. All right? And you are welcome to work on whatever homework you want to work on. But I would not suggest, well, I usually don't put Unit 2 homework up early because somebody will go do all the homework and then they'll get mad when I don't do some of the homework, when I don't cover some of the sections. Whatever I cover, you are what? You're responsible for it. If I cover 2.2 and I skip 2.3, then you don't have to do 2.3. It may be on your homework assignment list until the last day of class, but you don't have to do it. You only do what I cover. Now, how do you know what I cover? Well, you come to class or you watch the what? The videos. Don't ask me what I covered after you've been absent, because that just gets on my nerves. Especially when you either miss class or you didn't watch the video after you missed class. If I cover 2.2, then you're responsible for 2.2. If I skip 2.3 and you hear me say I'm skipping 2.3 in the video, then you're not responsible for 2.3. Now somebody's not going to do 2.3 because I used it as an example. You wait and see what I tell you. All right? If I cover it in class, you are responsible for it in the test, on the test and on the homework. If I skip it, if I say we're not going to do it, then you are not responsible. So you just ignore it in your homework. Sometimes I take it off and it grays it out. Sometimes I take it off and it takes it out. I don't know. It all depends on whatever. But right now, you are responsible for reading chapters 1 and chapter 2. Now, we are going to cover it in one day, maybe 2 days, probably Wednesday and Monday. Wednesday, I'll probably make it through chapter 1. Monday, I'll probably make it through chapter 2. And then Wednesday of next week, we'll probably start in the math section. This is 80% of your test right here, chapter 3. 80% of your 50%, let's not give away questions, is going to be from chapter 3. That's the mathematical section. Reading, math. Okay? So that's what you need to start on tonight when you go home, get your book or print it out or whatever you want to do and read chapters 1 and 2. You want to start the homework, if it's up, you start it. If it ain't up by Wednesday, you come in here and say, when are you going to post the homework? No, you don't. I'll post it when I post it. Probably post it today. Okay? Anybody got any questions? Well, let me get the roll right quick because everybody's saying we're not finished yet. I just want to get the roll before I forget. Because some of y'all are going to be like, oh yeah, we didn't go early. I got to keep y'all here another 30 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Today is Monday. Bashore. Bolt.
Yes, sir.
Davis. Edwards.
Yep.
Finley.
Yes.
Garcia. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Goodson.
Here.
Hamilton.
Here.
Hamilton twins. It sounds like something on Happy Days or something. All right. Hill. Hovey.
Here.
Is it Hovey or Hovey? Hovey. Jenkins. Jones. Laney. Lindsay. Mahaffey. Martin. Mitchell. Morgano. Painter. Plummer. Reese. Simmons. Stafford. Stone. Tarbert. Did you tell your dad he's sorry? What did he say? He just laughed. He done got quiet in his old age. Huh? Oh, he did? Oh, okay. You can't say it out loud. Did he talk? Did he talk about what? Did he talk about Six Flags? I asked him about Six Flags. We got lost. We were on our way from Alabama, and we had too many refreshments. And we ended up in a place called Ayala, Alabama, and it's kind of spelled like Atlanta. We were on our way from Alabama going to Atlanta, and we were in Ayatala, Alabama, and it looked like Atlanta on the sign. We didn't know how to get back on the interstate. Anyway, I asked him about Six Flags. Then forgot who I left off with. Oh, Tarbert. Vickery, Vincent, White, Worspaw, Wolf. Everybody's here. I don't know how to feel with students actually coming to class. Okay, who's got questions?